Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. That would be the channel right there. Yes sir, right there. Liquid sunshine today. So I'm gonna try to avoid getting wet, but there's no guarantees. Got a little project, tiny project to work on today. And a couple of investigation parts and pieces that I found stored on my truck. I don't even remember when I bought them. So, ooh, it got dark there for a minute. So I'm going to try and figure out what those belong to. But let me try to get you a shot of what I want to work on today, and then we'll get started on it. So you guys may or may not remember when I blew up my steering box on Abel, messing around with hydraulic air conditioning and all that stuff, that I had to change out the steering box. When I did that, I ripped open my CV, or not my CV, but my rubber boot there on my drag link. And so I put a temporary fix on there, and I think now's about time to change that out. So as you can see, this one will probably come off pretty easy. That one in the back, I bet you $100 it's not going to be very friendly. It's probably rust welded in there. So let me show you what I got for a replacement. So look at this beauty. This is a new old stock drag link. I am going to leave a link in the description. However, and you guys that own LMTVs know this, as soon as I leave a link in the description for this stuff, it is immediately gone. So my advice is that if you're watching this video right now, I'm going to leave as many links as I can for this exact same product in the description, that you go and click on it and just check it out. And the moment you're thinking about it could be the last moment you ever see one again. So you definitely want to pick one of these up if your ends are starting to get worn out. If they get dirt in them, they get really loose, and then they start making clicking and popping, and your steering wheel will have a lot of play in it, all that fun stuff. Now I got this, and I bought these a long time ago, and I don't even remember what they're for. I think they were on eBay for like 10 bucks, and I just bought that one. And then I got another one here that's, for whatever reason, it's red and it doesn't have a greased zerk on it. I have no clue what these go to. If I were to guess what these go to, I'm going to guess that they go to the tie rod for the steering. That's just a guess, though. They may actually thread into this now that I look at it, but I'm not 100% certain. And they may not fit on the truck because, if you notice, these are a little bit wider. So I'm going to investigate that just a little bit to try and figure out where those go. But for right now, let's get Abel started up, get them spun around so I can work on them here and not on the sidewalk where everybody's walking by and staring at me and asking questions. And then we'll try to get this big boy swapped out. All right, guys. Something to keep in mind if you're taking these out. If you use a pickle fork, it's guaranteed you're going to destroy the boot. So I don't know of any other method besides maybe like a press, like a 2-prong or a 2-grip press. And I don't even know if those will work really well with these trucks, because these are, I've had this one off before and it was the worst one to get off. The back one wasn't so bad. It's never been off before. Use a lot of lube, a lot of penetrating oil, some heat, and then hope for the best, because some of you guys that have like trucks that were built in 94, 95, if you try to change these out, it's probably going to be a headache. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set up the exact same length on the spindle ends, or the ball joint ends, as the OEM shaft has, so that way my steering wheel isn't all crooked when I drive down the road. Fingers crossed I can get this set up right, and we'll keep moving forward from there. Alright guys, we got the old drag link out, and as you can see here, I obviously did that damage myself, but this boot was on its way out anyway, and this one was totally gone from when I had to replace the steering box. So these ball joint ends are trash. This one is locked up, which is probably the reason why when I decelerate there's like a I don't know what you would call it, a snapping noise or a clunk. I think it had to do with this drag link here. One thing to note, your clamping bolt will only go on one direction. If you put it on any other direction than what you see here, you'll snap off your zerk, or you'll run into your drop arm. So this is the only way it will fit, where you can turn lock to lock without it hitting anything. So just keep that in mind if you're swapping this out. I had to change the bolt around. You may have seen that in the time lapse, that it was just a ridiculous amount of test fitting. The one on the rear here, I don't think it matters too much. There's plenty of clearance, although I did flip this one around as well so that we didn't have the chance of hitting the U-bolt here on the leaf spring pack. And I don't think it will hit, but I'm going to start the truck up and see. If it does, then we'll rotate that again, but I'm pretty sure it'll work. These are for the tie rod for the steering. They have nothing to do with this drag link, so they are not interchangeable. Even though the threads may match up, it may get you out of a tight spot if something breaks out in the middle of nowhere, but holding these up against the tie rod ball joints under the truck, they do match up, and everything threads together. And this does have a grease fitting on it, although it's not on the bottom side for whatever reason. So yeah, I don't even recall when or where I got those. I just grabbed them. They look like they would fit, and surprisingly they will. On a test drive to see if the steering wheel stays straight, or I need to pull the steering wheel and recenter it. As you guys can see, the steering wheel is sitting in the exact same spot as it was before I changed out the drag link. We're kind of riding on the crown of the road here, so yeah, there's no adjustments that need to be made, so I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. Abel's running really good right now. This is the best he's ever ran since I've owned him, so I'm really pleased. Alright guys, that wasn't too bad of an install. It fought with me a little bit, but nothing more than I'm used to with this big chug-a-lug of a truck here, so I'm pretty happy with that. The front end clunk that I was hearing probably had to do with this nasty ball joint. It's got all kinds of sand and grit and all kinds of fun stuff in it, so I can't even move it by hand. So I'm guessing that it was when the steering, or when the suspension squatted down when you come to a stop, it was fighting with that ball joint. So but I think that's probably going to be it for this episode, guys. If you like this episode, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed yet, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. But as always, I hope you guys are staying safe, taking care of each other, and I'll catch you next time. See you later. Bye-bye.